Yellowstone Volcano Simulation, a study found virtually nothing we can do in the case of a supereruption. The Yellowstone supervolcano eruption simulation found that there is virtually nothing those who live near the supervolcano could do if it were to have a major eruption. Yellowstone National Park, perhaps one of North America's most famous wilderness areas, featured in Netflix series are great national parks, narrated by former President Barack Obama. The five-parter sees him visit various national parks in the U.S., narrating over their histories and environments, exploring the flora and fauna that call the areas home. While Yellowstone is famous for its outstanding natural beauty, what has really attracted millions of visitors to this supervolcano status is the experience, the theory eruptions that last 2.1 million years. The last one was 630,000 years ago, which was a double eruption, and that was 1,000 times bigger than Mount St. Helens eruption of 1980, an event that caused more than $1 billion damage. During the last eruption, the sheer volume of material caused the ground to collapse, creating a depression we know now as the caldera, which is about 55 by 80 kilometers wide. The next eruption, a supereruption, is expected to have catastrophic effects worldwide and was explored during What If short documentary, What If the Yellowstone Volcano Erupted Tomorrow? The simulation of a Yellowstone eruption and its subsequent effects were played out. The narrator said, right now in the US, one of the world's largest volcanoes, that's about 21 some odd, is gearing up to explode. If Yellowstone decided to erupt, the results would be devastating. It has erupted 3 times in the past 3 million years, which has led some people to wonder whether we should be worried about another supereruption in the future. But if the eruption took place tomorrow, you lived in North America, there would be virtually nothing you could do to prepare. It's worth noting that in geological and volcanic terms, near future can mean hundreds of thousands of years away. The documentary looked at the potential lava output, noting that Yellowstone would produce little in the way of lava flows. Before lava becomes lava, it's something known as magma, but much of Yellowstone's magma would not turn into lava because the intensity of its eruption would force most of it to shoot into the sky. So rather than becoming magma, it would transform into airborne ash particles, small scorching pieces of jagged rocks, and in and of themselves potentially lethal. The ash would soon blanket the region and the surrounding region and would eventually cover more or less the entire of the United States and Canada. Tens of millions of people living within a 1,000 kilometer or 620 mile radius would, of course, find their demise from the ash alone. Once breathed in, it would form a cement-like mixture in the lungs, causing gradual suffocation. Infrastructure would also be destroyed by the ash. Just 12 inches of it is enough to cave in roofs. And experts suggest that even those outside the 620 mile or 1,000 kilometer range would still be in trouble. The east coast of the US would see around a centimeter of ash fall onto shores, an amount still dangerous to human beings. Some of the ash would also travel to Europe, and the rest of the world would experience some extreme weather changes. The global temperature, it has been estimated, would drop by around 10,000 degrees Celsius and could last as long as a decade. Crops would also be affected, as well as water supplies and general agricultural products. NASA has spent years looking at the potential outcomes of Yellowstone eruption, in the process attempting to devise strategies that would curb the fallout. The agency has even suggested ways to prevent an eruption in the first place. One scenario would see an increase in the amount of water within Yellowstone caldera to extract its heat day by day in order to reduce the risk of eruption. Practically speaking, however, this would cost millions, leaving politicians likely to sign up and hand over the cash. But another plan may give governments more of an incentive to join, sees a hole drilled 10 kilometers or 6 miles down into Yellowstone and water pumped into it at a high pressure. This would circulate the water and return it at an estimated temperature of 350 degrees Celsius or 662 degrees Fahrenheit, and slowly, day by day, extract heat from the volcano. Estimates suggest that such a project would come at a cost of about $3.5 billion, but would generate electrical power at competitive prices, and so comes with an enticing catch which could convince politicians to make the investment. And this is on Express UK by Joel Day. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.